What's up, gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. So in this one, we're going to rank all of the dating advice that is out there, from absolute trash to quite solid advice and even elite tier. So, and everything that's in between, of course. Yeah, this is very important for a lot of guys because everyone nowadays feels, there's so much advice on the internet. What advice do I actually follow? How do I know what is good and what is not good? So that's what we're going to break down here in this video. It's going to be very educational for you, and it's going to help you give you a lot of clarity on what actually is going to help you to get results and what isn't. So that brings us to the first one, which is just be yourself. Yeah, this is very simple. This is going to be D tier. This is absolute trash advice because this is just anti-evolution. Because every time you will hear this, it's some guy that's like, oh, I got rejected. She ghosted me. Things didn't work out. And then someone else will say, you just need to be yourself. Yeah, because you haven't done that up until now, right? Yeah, she ghosted you because you were not being yourself. Yeah, that's just a totally ridiculous idea. Being yourself is only cool if you're already attractive, if you're already competent, and if you know how to lead a woman. Most guys do not know that. They need to learn it. Yeah, but their protection mechanism is, I just want to be myself. Or if you want to be yourself, then just accept that you're going to stay single, that you're not going to get great results in your dating life. And you're going for a life of a lot of frustration. You just need to learn the right behaviors as a man. And also this idea is ridiculous because this idea assumes that women love you unconditionally. And they don't. Women do not love you unconditionally. Women love you when you are a guy that is attractive, that is competent. That's why some men, they get a lot of love and women just throw themselves at them, yeah, and they sleep with many women. And there's guys that don't. If just be yourself was rock solid advice, then it would be like socialism. Everyone gets one. Yeah, everyone gets one woman and everyone would be married and live happily ever after. That's not how modern dating is. There's a tiny percentage of men that get all the women, and the rest of the guys they just get nothing basically. Yeah, so that's why it's very important that you get your stuff together, you learn the right behaviors, yeah, you focus on your self-development as a man, because otherwise, you're not going to get results. Yeah, you need to pick. I want to become a better man. I want to become that man that women want. Or you will have to just, live with the results that you're already getting. Yeah, being yourself and improving yourself, they are not going through one door. You need to pick one. So that brings us to the next one, which is work on yourself. So this idea is very popular online. Yeah, the people, they will tell you, oh, I'm just working on myself at the moment. I'm going to the gym and I'm working on my on a promotion at work, as if no one out there is doing that already. Yeah, this is not some genius idea. At least I will give these guys the credit. At least they're doing something with their lives. Yeah, that's at least a little bit better than just be yourself. But overall, this is not going to be good advice. And also, people package this differently. Because some people, they will say, oh, chase excellence, not women. Work on yourself and the women, they will come. No, they will not come. Even a good product out there will still need marketing. So you still need to put yourself out there. You need to go on dates. You need to meet women out and about. You need to have a good presence online. If you do not have that, then you're not going to get results. It's as easy as that. And then it doesn't matter how great an option on the dating market that you are. Dating is a totally separate skill from all of the other things that you're doing in your life. Dating is not, I have $1 million. I drive a Mercedes. So now women should want to fuck me. No, it's, I learn the right behaviors. I become an attractive guy. I become a really good offer. I learn how to spike her emotions. Yeah, make her feel something for me. And then I'm a great option on the dating market. Yeah, it is not a byproduct of all the other things that you're doing in your life. So overall, this advice is not bad. Because yeah, you should work on yourself always as a guy. But it's not going to help you as much in dating as that a lot of people online, they preach that it is. So that brings us to the third one, which is don't chase women. And that's basically, like similar kind of advice as, work on yourself. Often this becomes an avoidance strategy. Because overall, it's not bad advice. Yeah, don't chase women. Yeah, of course you shouldn't chase women because you're going to chase them away. But what happens is that guys, they will hear this and they will think, oh, that's amazing. So that means that I shouldn't put in any effort for women. I should not talk with them, not approach them. I should not improve my online presence. And I should not take any dating specific steps because otherwise I'm chasing. Yeah, everything becomes chasing for a lot of those guys. And that is, of course, it's just cope, basically, what happens. And it's very sad because this advice overall, it's very solid. But just like what I mentioned, a good product still needs marketing. So how are you going to do that? So don't chase women. Yeah, it's okay advice, but at least it's going to be better than just be yourself. But overall, this is just not going to help. Not going to help a lot of guys. It's wishful thinking. That's what it is. They will think, oh, women. They will just once I have make 6 figures and once I have that 6-pack and the big biceps, then I will get a knock on my door. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Oh, I was looking for a man that is working on himself. Yeah, no, they are not. Women are not going to do that. Women, they respond to what is in front of them. Very sad, but it's true. So that brings us to the next one, which is love will find you. Yeah, if it's meant to be, then it will be. And no, it won't. Yeah, that's very unromantic, but this is what most people in our society, what they are bombarded with. Yeah, just watch any movie, just turn on the radio, and you will hear this idea like pumped into your brain. Ever since you were a little kid, you heard this, and this is anti-self-development. This basically is saying, it's similar to saying I want to be myself. Yeah, it's also a form of wishful thinking that you just have to wait and do nothing, and then a woman will show up and she will want to sleep with you. It's not going to happen. The truth is, if we're going to be honest about it, love needs to be engineered for men. Yeah, you need to do it with taking the right dating specific steps. That's why I call it engineering, because it's engineering at the end of the day. You mold yourself into a man that is attractive. You mold yourself into a man that women want. Because just like what I mentioned, if this advice would work, then everyone would get one. And we would live in a socialist utopia on the dating market. Yeah, everyone would get one. But that's not what's happening. Because you have guys that go on hundreds of dates, and then you have basically most guys that struggle and they fall for this shit advice. So become that guy that just goes on a lot of dates and then he engineers the love that he wants. That's how you should go about dating nowadays. So that brings us to the next one, which is learning game. This is going to be S tier. Very solid. Without game, you cannot do much basically. And I do not mean that like learn pickup, even necessarily, but you need to learn how to navigate social dynamics. You need to understand frame. You need to understand how to make a woman feel something for you. You need to be able to present yourself well and to be charismatic. And once you are that, you can do anything. You can get dates and you can get results with any strategy basically, whether it's from dating apps, from an approach, from nightlife scenarios, social circle, you name it. Yeah, if you know how to be charming and how to present yourself well and how to communicate with other people, you can get astronomical results. Yeah, if you do not have game, then all of the other strategies, all of them, they can fail. Just like even dating apps, if your photos are amazing, but you have no game, then what are you doing? It's not going to help you. The only caveat is that often what happens is that guys online, they will talk about game, study game, but they only focus upon getting the woman into bed like in the next few days or in the next as soon as possible. While when I say also learn game specifically about long-term attraction dynamics. How do I maintain her attraction for 3 months, 6 months, years to come? Because if you like her, then why not sleep with her for a very long time? So overall, this is very solid advice, and this is going to help you to get many, many dates once you execute on it properly. So that brings us to the next point, which is just approach. And this is almost as good as learning game. The only thing is that often what happens is that it becomes very incomplete. Well, just approach her and then things will work out. Just go up to her and then start talking with her without any form of instruction. And that doesn't help a lot of guys. You also need to know how to be charismatic, how to make her feel something for you. You need to have also a sense of humor. So this is overall very good advice, especially because so many guys, they have that approach anxiety. I know what that felt like when I just started approaching women. And this is going to help you to grow some hair on your chest, and become more confident. Very solid strategy overall. So that brings us to the next step, which is taking better photos for your dating app profile. Just take better photos. And that's basically pretty similar to just approach, because yes, it's a massive step in the right direction, but it's still kind of incomplete. You're basically taking the first step of a journey that is miles long, because after that you need to know how to text women, how to be charismatic, how to be funny, how to get them into how to build tension, how to lead them to the bedroom, how to be good in the bedroom, then learn how to navigate long-term attraction dynamics, how to keep maintaining her attraction long term. So this is a good step in the right direction, but it's still going to be incomplete. So that brings us to the next step, which is just dress better. Every time that basically some mainstream figure or some talking head online will talk about, there are young men, they're having less sex than ever, like a third, like whatever the case may be, a quarter or 1/3 of the guys in their in their early 20s, they haven't had sex, ever in their lives. Yeah. So what should they do? Yeah, they should touch grass and they should dress better. Yeah, and it's very surface level. It's very surface level advice. But overall, this is not going to be overall, this is not bad advice, but it's just very incomplete. So that's why I will put it here, at least here in B tier. Dressing better, that's not gonna it's not going to lead you to a lot more dates. It's going to help you to get more women interested in you, for sure. And it's going to help you also with approaching and with taking better photos for your dating app profile. But it's not automatically going to help you to get dates, to approach more women. Even after you present yourself well, you dress super well, you still need to approach, you still need to put yourself out there in social situations, and you also need to risk getting rejected. Yeah, and sometimes even if you dress really well, you still will get rejected. So dressing better is pretty similar to the first two that we just talked about, because it is a step in the right direction, but we still need to do many more things in order for us to get results in dating. So that brings us to the next one, which is be a gentleman. This is trash advice. Yeah, that's gonna piss a lot of people off, and all the time in my comments when I say, don't pick women up for first dates. Yeah, don't do dinner dates. Yeah, don't open the car door for women on first dates. All of that turns her off, because the reality is that women do not care how much of a gentleman you are or how considerate you are. Yeah, all of that, they're uninterested in it. They care how do you make them feel. Are you an attractive guy? Yeah, are you assertive? Are you a guy that shows strength? Or are you just going to be a guy that kisses her ass like all of the other guys out there already doing? Yeah, that's basically what being a gentleman ends up being. Yeah, it ends up being kissing her ass and treating her as if she is incapable of doing anything. You do not pick a woman up for the first date, because God gave her 2 legs so that she could go up in the car and go to the date location by herself, or she could order herself an Uber. Especially because ordering an Uber is not so difficult, isn't it? But people that argue for this be a gentleman kind of advice, they are very invested in blue pill ideas. And those blue pill ideas, they are not helping you to get a great dating life and to attract someone that you really like. Yeah, so this is why this is also going to be next to all the other, basically next to just be yourself and love will find you. Yeah, it doesn't help you. It's just pointless. So that brings us to the next advice, which is just be confident. Yeah, this is basically similar to just dress better. Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, and it will help you. But if you are just confident without having any form of competence, then that makes you delusional. That's what it is. Being confident is only justified once you have the experience, once you have lived something. If you do not have it, then it's just totally pointless to be confident. And you only become confident once you know what you're doing, and once you have put in the reps. Yeah, once you go on 100 dates, believe me that you're going to be very confident with women. So overall, just being confident, solid step in the right direction, but it's still incomplete. So that brings us to the next one, which is become a passport bro. Yeah, this is very popular online in online spaces nowadays. But this is just a coping strategy for most people out there. Because if you're not getting dates in your own area, then going abroad is not going to save that, believe me. And I've done it myself, because even when I was going abroad many years ago, I got no dates, But once I started to improve my skills and really take responsibility, improve my presence online, I started to approach women, then you will see that you can also get dates where you live locally. Yeah, and then you can complain that women are mean. Well, figure out why they are mean to you. Yeah, figure out what you're doing that is not going well. But don't blame the women for it. Women, they are just the way that they are. And going abroad, it will help you. I'm not going to deny it. Yeah, it helps with getting more initial attention. But if you have no game, and if you are just totally clueless about women, which is what most passport bros are, then it's not going to help you. You will just set yourself up to be taken advantage of. So this is mostly an avoidance strategy, because a lot of those guys, they just do not want to admit, well, my communication sucks. I do not present myself well. The way that I dress is absolute shit. But women, they should appreciate me just because I have male genitals, basically. That's how these men, they end up arguing. And women abroad, they will give me respect. Yeah, they will maybe respect you because you're exotic in the beginning. And after 3 months, these women, they will also start to show you, yeah, what they are really made of. So this is basically a coping strategy. And that brings us to the next strategy, which is just make more money. And this is also a cope strategy because a lot of guys, they are not getting results in their dating lives, and then they will just say, well, I'm just going to make more money, then the women, they will come. No, they won't. It's just total BS. But they will do that basically as a way to avoid taking the responsibility, and they will use it as a way to avoid getting rejected by women. It's basically a form of rage quitting is what it is. And I'm not going to deny that improving your finances is going to help you, because it will. Yeah, you can, if you are in a better position financially, it can help you to attract women if you do it correctly. But overall, just making more money, getting more digits into your bank account, it does not do much in your dating life. So yeah, that's going to be also C tier. So that brings us to the next one, which is go to the gym. And this is actually quite solid advice. I think everyone should do this. Everyone should basically make sure that he is in shape. Because everything is going to be easier. Your dates are going to be a lot easier if you have a low body fat percentage, and if you have more of that chiseled jawline, and if you present yourself well. So this is overall going to be very solid advice. And I put this even above making more money. Being in the gym is going to help you to get more dates than just making more money. Making more money, that's all up in the air. Like, it's all, especially because nowadays it's just digits. And it's just digits on the screen. But those muscles that you're gaining and losing that body fat, that is instantly visible. That's going to lead to a lot more attention from women, and it's also going to help you to lead them to the bedroom way faster. So that brings us to the next one, which is just build a social circle. This is also very solid advice, actually, because if you're meeting women at events, running your own events once you're like a little bit more advanced, all of that's going to help you to get attention. It's going to help you to also show a little bit of pre-selection, and it's a great way for guys to become very calibrated overall. But even if you really engineer yourself into a really great social circle, you would still need to understand long-term relationship dynamics. You would still need to understand how to lead women properly. You still need to run your dates just like you would if you made an approach, or if you met her on a dating app. You cannot expect that just building a social circle is going to be a silver bullet, because you cannot be a total simp and then if I go on a date with a woman from a social circle, then that's going to solve all my problems. But overall, this is going to be a very solid strategy, especially if you're going to take it into account that you're also going to do other things to improve your dating life. So that brings us to the next point, which is becoming an alpha male. People love this idea online, or even a sigma, that's basically what people, they love to refer to as well. And overall, this is not a bad idea. Because yes, you should become more assertive. You should become stronger as a man. You should perhaps start doing martial arts. Yeah, I've done that for many years. Great way to build confidence. But often what happens once people hear, just be an alpha male, they will start posturing. Being an alpha male is just mostly overblown. And it also leads to behaviors in dating that are going to turn women off. Blocking her, screaming at her, yelling her, putting her in her place. Just showing how dominant I am. All of that is turning her off. That's neediness. That's what it is. You just package it differently. You do the same thing as that a beta male does, but you just package it with more bravado, basically. So this is just mostly nonsense. It can help you, if you're doing it correctly, but just overall, this is just going to be a cope strategy. This is just not going to help you with anything. So that brings us to the next one, which is looks maxing. Actually, this is very solid advice. I'd actually say that this is next to also going to the gym. It can help you to leveling up your presence, leveling up your presentation overall. It's going to help you to get more attention from women. And also if you're approaching and if you're in those social situations, and you do all of these things like looks maxing and dressing better, being more confident, then that's going to lead to results faster, and it's going to lead to better results. But what happened what happened? Yeah, and in the recent months, the people to say, oh, like looks maxing is everything. Just become a beauty object to women, and then they will just approach you, and that's just not going to happen. You will still, even if you are super good looking, and you will still need to you will still need to approach women, and you will still need to put yourself out there. So that's why we put it in B tier. So that brings us to MGTOW, yeah, or modern dating is broken, or modern dating isn't worth it anymore. Yeah, this is also just totally useless advice. Like, how is this helping you to build a dating life that you're going to become happy from? Because I do not care as much even about getting the dates as I do about becoming happy. I want to go on dates because that makes you just more grounded as a man. It makes you happier as a man. Yeah, like studies have shown, the guy that sleeps with many women, yeah, he is just happier overall. So that's why, yeah, MGTOW also is a cope strategy. Yeah, there are guys in the MGTOW community that will sleep with women, and they will have a good time and with them, but not marry them, not get into relationships. And if you are getting late and all of that, yeah, then it's good. But for most guys, this is just cope, because they will not succeed with women, and then they will just say, well, I'm just going my own way. Yeah, but then it wasn't choice. Yeah, you just made your necessity a virtue. That's basically what happens. Yeah, in a lot of those cases. Also, those guys, they do not take responsibility. They will not say, well, my dating experiences, they have been shit because I've been doing something wrong. They will just say, no, like, women are mean. Those evil women. That's why I'm so frustrated with them. Yeah, and it's not my fault. It's the fault of these women. Yeah, it's very weak behavior. So that brings us to the next one, which is just touch grass. Yeah, you will hear this a lot when people that talk about the male loneliness epidemic. They will say, well, just touch grass, just go outside. Yeah, and actually, this is not bad advice, I have to say. Yeah, because a lot of guys, they are living, they're just not putting themselves out there nowadays. They are just living in their bedroom, and they're just playing video games and doing nothing with their lives. Yeah, and they should go out. Yeah, they should stop playing video games and they should touch grass, 100%. So I have to say that this is actually not bad advice at all. This is actually, your first step. It's probably not going to lead to a lot of dates in the beginning. Yeah, but it's at least a good step in the right direction, just like everything that we have put in B tier. So that brings us to the next one, which is red pill. Overall, I have to say that, with red pill, like 80-90% of everything, like I agree with it. But the problem is that, many men, they just use it as a coping mechanism nowadays. They will just say, like women nowadays, they are hypergamous, like they only date the top 10%, That's why I am not getting dates, because they only sleep with genetically gifted men. And that's just nonsense. Even if that was the case, you could still decide to become that guy that is in the top 10%. But that's not the kind of conversation that these men, they like to have, because that means responsibility, and that means that they need to stop playing the victim. And these men, they are not ready for it, so that's why they are never doing it. It's a very good way to date defensively. And it's a good way for you to understand women's psychology, and also to understand the potential pitfalls, and the risks that come with dating. And to make sure that you're not making the mistakes as all of the blue pill guys out there are making, that end up with divorces and getting cheated upon and all of that nasty stuff. So I have to say that, like, actually, this is, we put it in A tier or B tier. Yeah, like, I would, if there was something in between it, like, I would put it at, A or B tier. But yeah, the thing is that a lot of guys also, they are in this red pill community, but they're not even going on dates. So you're not protecting yourself then against anything. So let's just put it at B tier for now. So black pill, we get to this subject. So this is also basically, pretty useless overall. It can help you if you are putting in the work, but a lot of those guys in this black pill space, they are not doing it. They just use black pill basically to become a victim. Because even if women are so obsessed with looks, then what would be the next step to do? Yeah, that would be to looks max and to become really good looking. But that's also not something that a lot of those guys, they end up doing. Because I will not deny, yes, looks, they are important. That's why it's important to dress well, to max out on your looks, to go to the gym, all of these things. I tell all of my clients to do that. But if you're just saying, well, women only care about looks, I can never be genetically gifted, so let me throw in the towel, well, that's just total weakness, and that's just a bunch of BS. So that brings us to the next one, becoming a player. A tier, this is by far world-class advice, becoming a player. Because especially like next to learning game, because players, they always get the best treatment from women. Women, they treat players like royalty. If they know if they know that you're sleeping with other women and that you're having a great time with them, and all of the good stuff about a man, they start to happen once you become a player. Yeah, you become good in bed, you become very charismatic, you become non-needy. Yeah, if you have slept with so many women, you're not gonna worry about some girl not texting you back. You're gonna be like, I'm going on Tinder and I'm gonna meet another girl and I'm gonna get laid with someone else. Yeah, you just become very outcome independent. And you learn all of the right behaviors by being a player. So being a player is world-class advice. Everyone should do it. The only problem is that our culture tells men, propagates this idea to young men, being a player is bad. That's bad. Don't do that. Yeah, stop doing that. Yeah, don't date multiple women at the same time. But once you start doing it, you will see what's really going on. And you will see, women, they will start to treat you so incredibly well once they know that you have multiple women, that you are outcome independent and that you do not care if she is not sending a text to you back. Yeah, all of the good things will come from being a player. So I'm going to also talk about a lot more about this in the future on this channel. So subscribe to this channel, like to stay updated to that, because you guys can learn a lot from that. Date to marry. Yeah, this is very dumb advice, especially if you live in the US or any Western country. Yeah, Australia, UK, Canada, all of the Anglosphere countries. Yeah, and I don't care what your religion says. Yeah, marriage is a dumb idea. The government wants to micromanage everyone's life, and once you get divorced, they feel the need to start micromanaging everything. Yeah, like the kids, they decide what happens with your finances, with your kids, and the government shouldn't do that, in my opinion. So it's just dumb advice, because you give up all the leverage in your relationship. You give up all any power in your life overall. So this is just a shitty strategy. And also the thing is that a lot of guys, will say, yeah, I'm dating to marry, and they pretend that it's virtuous, but it's not virtuous. Nowadays, players, they went in modern dating. Men that date many women, that are super attractive, that learn the right skills. Yeah, those men, they crush it in dating. Men that are just waiting for the right person to arrive in their lives. Yeah, they will not get results. Yeah, and they will become frustrated, and they open the floodgates. Yeah, to be taken advantage of by the courts, by women, and by everybody in the divorce machine, basically. So this is going to D tier. Don't date to marry, date to become a player. I'm not sorry that it hurts your feelings, and I do not care what the Bible says. So that's it, gentlemen. So here we have the list of all of these dating strategies. So if you are struggling in your dating life and you're sick of it, then I'm open to helping with you. You can book a call with me with the link in the bio. And then we can talk about how you are going to get the results that you want in the next few months in your dating life. So we craft a strategy, and then that strategy, we're going to execute it for you to really get abundance in your dating life, so that you do not have to cling on to dating strategies that are just going to sabotage yourself, like be a gentleman and just be yourself, and love will find you and all of that stuff. So that's it, guys. Peace.